What's good, family? I wanted to come to y'all and say I wish y'all a great afternoon, great morning, great evening. But let's get this party started, all right? So, family, the main thing I was gonna bring to y'all's attention is how this last 2 weeks that I've been on a little hiatus, I've really been investing in myself with my education and really putting forth a different type of effort for you guys so I can bring different type of results for myself and for you guys to really see on the table going forward. And what I mean by that is I've put some money up to go towards my education with doing uh, my data analysis program where I'll be finishing that within a couple of weeks, if at the most a month or 2 months. But I wanted to run the idea by you guys that how much would you invest in yourself to make sure that you succeeded in the long term for the bigger picture grand slam of your lifelong goals to get you to a successful path of what you want to be as an individual, let alone what you pass down to your family. And I only ask that because I've been looking at a lot of different things lately, and it's really made my mind kind of wander on like, okay, when am I going to be enough with when it comes to pleasing other people and building other people's dreams, aka my job. And notice that I said job, not my career. This particular path I'm going down now within the last 2 weeks of while I've been gone is my education for my career. So what I've invested in the last 2 weeks is time, research, and effort. And I've gotten tired of putting in the effort of building someone else's dreams and really put forth my own foot for the better version of me. So what I've done is went from the higher end, the big picture, the big honcho of the big data field in IT, where I've invested in doing data analysis, which is like the midpoint or like the sub career for big data. And I honestly got tired of being tired. And I also came across two individuals that came my way. I felt like God sent my direction because me working overnights on and off for the last 10 years, I really haven't looked at it in a bad way. I knew I didn't want to do it for very long, but 10 years later, I'm in this position again where I had a real medical awareness scare where I had a lady tell me, a nurse of 20 years tell me that working overnights will kill you in so many different ways and drop off 10 years off of your lifespan. And I'll be honest, that idea of that really messed me up in the long term mentally because I'm thinking I'm getting compensated for the money. I'm having some kind of leeway of why I should continue doing this particular shift because it gave me a reasoning to keep doing it. Whether that be me finishing school that way and having the days to myself or not really caring about a social life working overnights because I have to work over the weekends. That's why a lot of people don't want the quote unquote graveyard shift. But the sad part is of how I know I was programmed and in the matrix when it came to not even realizing the fact that I have been saying and proudly saying I work the graveyard shift. What the hell? Now hear me out. It's just the idea of the fact that we can sit there and hear something for so long and think that it's normal. We should never be proud to work anything called a graveyard anything, let alone a graveyard shift. Man. But I'm appreciative in the long run because it brought me to the point where I'm at now where I just got tired of being tired, y'all. I have to be honest with y'all. I've been going so hard lately with my education program when it came to being a data analyst. I finally realized that wow, this is the part of my life where you finally hit this wall of being tired of being tired. Now I finally understand what a lot of family and mentors that I consider to be OGs around me for years were saying when they finally got tired of being tired. So my value that I'm bringing to y'all is just to give y'all an experience of my own to let you know that if you're scared of taking that chance of yourself and don't know how to really take that leap of faith, well, take that leap of faith in yourself because your guardian angels or your team or however you look at it spiritually is on your side You just got to make that move and you got to make a decision. Because I noticed a crazy mental shift yesterday, no, Monday, Sunday night, I'm sorry, where I noticed that when I made my mind up, it was freaking 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But I made my mind up. As soon as I did that, I was up for hours doing research on what possible career field can get me to do what I want to do as quick as possible. I didn't even care if I took a pay cut or if I wasn't making 6 or 7 figures off the bat. I didn't care about that no more. The money didn't matter. It was the matter of the freedom that I got of being able to do what I wanted and what I loved. So y'all know I love sports cars and any kind of memorabilia, right? So what I realized with doing my first half of my semester, because when I tell y'all I went in this past 2 weeks, I went in. I'm already halfway through the first course of being a data analyst, and it feels amazing. I have to be real with y'all. It feels amazing. Did I sacrifice some sleep? Yes, but I've been sacrificing sleep for someone else's dreams to be built and money to be made in their pockets for the last 4 years. Why am I not doing that for myself? And that's what I had to keep telling myself when I got tired or when I got upset or frustrated with myself when I didn't pass a quiz or when I didn't understand a certain subject or matter. I had to keep reprogramming myself to realize you got this because you owe it to yourself. I owe me success. Nobody else does. And I promise you guys, as soon as I made my mind up, I made that decision. It's like my subconscious took over. Like when I tell y'all that I went all in, I did about 6 hours of just nonstop. Now I don't recommend that when you're doing something when it comes to your education, guys. Especially when it comes to taking major quizzes and exams. But hey, I gotta be real with y'all. I had to do it. I had to see how badly I wanted it enough to see where I'm gonna go and really have that booster of motivation to see like, okay, bro, you've done this in less than a day or a whole day rather, right? What can you do in a whole week's time when it comes to finishing the program and saving your money for the month after? And I'll be honest, I set a goal that's so out of this world for other people's expectations. But for me, I know I'm capable of it. It's just a matter of not getting frustrated with myself when I don't hit certain goals or mini goals within that time frame of doing so. Meaning that if I'm going to have a goal that is to finish a program that's technically supposed to go by months, right? And they give you an expectation of finishing the program within 6 months. I want to finish it in 3 weeks. Honestly, the biggest my mind is, I want to finish it in 2 weeks. That's how optimistic and how much faith I have in myself when it comes to being able to plan out the bigger picture, plan out every single detail, and know what it takes to do it. It's just a matter of implementing it in the long run. So the question remains, how much are you willing to sacrifice of your life, your time, and your money and social life in order for your life to be successful and ultimately, guys, just be happy, man? It's amazing the kind of excuses you give yourself in the long run when it comes to in that moment. Oh man, well I can deal with this because I get to watch the Super Bowl at work, or I don't really have a set schedule for lunch, but that means I can have lunch whenever. I don't have to get off the clock. I'm finessing the system, but when the system is finessing you, because at the end of the day, you are still doing what they want you to do, and you are still slaving for minimum pension or just money in general. Like when I looked at what my check could have been, hear me out, could have been after taxes versus what it was before taxes. I have no issues with pay your taxes. Pay your taxes, y'all. But when I looked at what my check could have been before taxes, man, that set a whole new fire underneath my backside. I can't even lie to you. I can't. That made me so mad. No, it pissed me off. It pissed me off enough to the point where I had to do something. I didn't want to rely on nobody. I didn't want to ask nobody for advice. I didn't want to get no kind of suggestions. My suggestion was get off my backside and do something about it. So that's why I told you guys, I literally made my mind up and I was like, you know what? What am I going to sacrifice at this moment outside of physical sleep, social life, dating life, all that kind of stuff? Pay. That's what was making me think second about it. Be like, damn, am I gonna second guess this for long? Nah, I promise you. During those hours of me researching, I took that time, looked at everything, and then just paused. Looked at what I needed to look at, then looked at how long it was gonna take, and made my mind up. And I was like, all right, I got this. I got this. That's what you gotta tell yourself when you're in a little bit of doubt. Shake that funk and be like, nah, you got this, brother. You got this, sister. Let's do it. Put all the excuses to the back burner because it ain't gonna make you no money down the road. So let's get to it now and let's hop like a toad because I ain't got the time for this BS no more. Like, I'll give you an example, an estimate, right? Let's say my check could have been working a regular 85 hours, making, let's say, at the highest point for a lot of us out here, let's say $25 an hour, right? Working 80 hours every 2 weeks. My check at a bare minimum or at the highest estimate wise could have been 3 grand before taxes, right? Tell me why that damn thing dropped to $1,600. $1,600. Where's all that money going that I ain't seeing in the streets? Still got holes in them. Police still corrupt. Firemen and EMSs still underpaid. So where's my money going to that you taking the hell out of on my checks? But we ain't gonna go into politics and all that. But anyway, my point is being, what that's what my money could have been. And I'd have spent all my time to y'all. This company that I chose to sign a contract with, in my eyes, it's a contract with the devil, but in the long term. But it's the truth. I really believe that when it came to, if I can devote myself to an environment, to a company, to a people, to a staff and team for 4 years plus, then why the hell can I not do that for myself? Ask yourself that. If you can devote yourself to everyone else, why can't you devote yourself to you? I realized that after my last breakup, or any breakup I've had, but especially this last breakup, where it really taught me how to deal with separation from something that you thought you couldn't live without and you didn't want to risk taking a chance on leaving. And I'm not talking about my actual ex partner, I'm talking about the damn job. I remember when I dropped two of my careers, or excuse me, two of my jobs because I took a leap of faith on doing Uber and Lyft. I wanted to have at least one chance in my life to feel and see what it was like to have a schedule that I made on my own, where if I didn't eat that day, it was because of me. No excuses needed, no excuses heard. And the only regret that if I could say I had one is that I gave up on myself too fast because my priority instinct kicked in and it made me go back to working on the freaking clock and clocking that damn 9 to 5 back in. But during that journey of me doing that entrepreneurial journey, I got bit by that damn bug. And man, I tell you, and I remember saying it that day before I went back to clocking in. Now that I done got bitten by this entrepreneurial bug, there is nothing, I mean nothing, that's going to stop me from coming back to this path again down the road at some point in my life. And here I am now. As some people will look at it being like, man, you making really good money. Yes, compared to where I was, yes, I'm very appreciative and I'm very grateful. But the truth is, the mind that I have and the way that I think, I don't belong in that environment. I am a leader amongst society, not a follower. I don't belong amongst the trolls. I've worked from the bottom of the bottom, the most stressful jobs you can have, no matter what you can think of. I've done it. But I had to realize that I owe myself success, y'all. That's what I'm trying to get to y'all at the most of the end of this podcast is for y'all to understand of what are you willing to sacrifice for you and your family.